Dante Moore in on that tackle for the Eagles. Spread formation. And the Eagles jumping off sides. Far side of the field. And so that'll be a free 5 yards for the Panthers.
The offsides against the Eagles. Making it 1st and 5 for Washougal.
Penalty number 58, Isaac Finn for the Eagles. So Boylan behind Farrell in pistol formation. Trips left. It'll be a run up the middle by Boylan. Still fighting for a couple of yards and is eventually brought down. A gain of 2. A 2nd and 3 for the Panthers. And one thing you saw right there out of Washougal, they had that holding penalty backing themselves up, but they were able to rebound, get the first down on the very next play on a sweep play. Pistol formation now. Boylan to the right of Farrell. Trips left. Pass play. Farrell almost wrapped up. Seemed to have lost something. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to run for it. Bowling over a defender on Hinton and eventually brought down. It'll be a first down.
Yeah, Hudson's Bay brings pressure again, and again they overrun it. The key when you get that pressure is you got to get broken down and contain them. And you know, there's faults, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not great to bring that pressure. You know, if you bring pressure, you got to make sure you contain it.
Tristan Farrell, a couple of big runs already on this drive. In fact, I don't know if you noticed on that last play, had his arm sleeve ripped off by the defense as he was escaping a couple of defenders. So Ranton Reynolds to the right of Farrell. Pass play to the left. Caught by Griffin. Makes a couple of moves, running up the middle of the field and brought down by Duke Beamer. A flag thrown at the 29-yard line. So this one could be coming back. Let's see.
Afraid it's going to be holding on the outside receiver. He had his hands on the inside, and then as he was pushing him, he got him to the outside. Right there, number 6. That probably is going to get the holding call there. Hard to tell.
So that'll back up the Panthers. It's from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, that's one of the decisions you have to make as a defensive coordinator is how you're going to handle a quarterback that actually can move well. You know, if you've got a guy that's a pocket guy, you know that if you bring pressure and you get to him, that he's not getting away. But when you start chasing, I always say if you start chasing the chicken around the chicken coop, you got to contain him if you're going to get him. And it's really hard to get him when they can run like that. And it could turn into like it turned into. They had 3 guys in the backfield this fast, and before you know it, he's downfield 10 yards. So you have to come with more of a contain blitz rather than just come get a guy sitting in the pocket.
So after the penalty, it'll be 1st and 11. And one thing you think that the Eagles could do is Washougal's running another screen play here in the backfield, and the ball's loose. Eagles have it, popped right into the arms of number 16, McLean Clark. Gifted the football on a fumble up the middle by number 5, Gavin Moulter. And Moulter got the swing pass, and the Eagles popped that ball loose. And McLean Clark with the recovery, and it'll be 1st down Eagles. Just when it looked like everything was going Washougal's way with the goal line stand, a couple of big runs from Tristan Farrell. It's a turnover.
Yeah, and number 54, Levi McHale, was in that. He's the one that popped the ball out. He came running by and punched it, and it popped out right into the hands of number 16.
Dean Jesus Castillo back at quarterback for the Eagles. Justice Jones-Phelan, the tight end on the right side. It's a pass for Castillo. He's winding up to throw one down the field, and it's going to be intercepted by Reynolds on the near sideline, and back-to-back turnovers. And Washougal's got the ball back here with 5.5 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, Reynolds had really good position on that. The receiver ran an outside fade, and he stayed right in his pocket, and the ball didn't get. That's a ball you got to throw over him and let the receiver go get it. But he underthrew it and Reynolds was able to intercept it.
Yeah, there's only one real spot you can put that ball, and you have to put it on the outside shoulder near the sideline where it's only your man can get that one, and you're right, he left that one too much in the field. And Ranton Reynolds with the easy interception. So trips right for Washougal to start off. Boylan in the backfield, flag in the secondary.
So flag before this play gets started.
You can't tell if the referee is counting how many players are on the field right now.
That's what he's doing. He thinks there's 12 on the field.
You know, math was never really the subject for it. That's why we all go into broadcast.
Yeah, he's picking up the flag. You know, you can either see or you can count. Apparently this one can see, and this is no disrespect to all my referee friends out there.
Trips right for the Panthers. Peter Boylan on the right of Tristan Farrell. Three-step pass for Farrell. Over the middle. Caught, spin move. This will be the end of the first quarter. And Tiaki stretching, getting to the 49-yard line of the Eagles. And that's how Washougal will end the first quarter. And that's really their first pass down the field for the Panthers.
Yeah, really nice catch and throw. It looked like he ran just kind of looked like about a 7 or 8 yard in, and quarterback hit him right in the hands and spun out of one and got some extra yards.
First quarter, we saw multiple turnovers on the first play of the game. We saw the Eagles turn it over on a sweep. Then we saw Washougal. They turned it over with a fumble, and they just got the ball back thanks to an interception by Ranton Reynolds that has set them up now for another good spot. Now their turnover came when they were backed up all the way at their 2-yard line. They looked like they were poised to get into the end zone, and here's that last pass from Castillo. Reynolds was able to get the interception on. Pedroza falling to the ground doesn't help either.
Looked like the turf bit his toe, tripped a little bit.
Turf monster, yep.
Yeah, it happens.
So resetting the football here to start off the second quarter. 7-0 lead for Washougal over Hudson's Bay.
So far, I feel like there's just a ton of really athletic kids out here. It's been a real fun game to watch so far here in the first quarter. Athletes coming on and off the field, and it's just like the turnovers have really been what the game has been about so far.
And if you're being here, you've gotten a couple of breaks that have really worked out for you. Here, Boylan up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet after a spin move, and brought down at the 31-yard line. And about a 16-yard gain right there by Peter Boylan. And he's running hard this afternoon.
Yes, he is, and they just keep feeding it to him.
The lineman up front opening a couple of holes for Peter Boylan.
33-yard line.
Here's another look at that last play. Boylan again up the middle, breaking away from a couple of Eagle defenders, and he's brought down a couple of yards short of the first down. Looks to be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it looked like a little trap fit play or fold there. It looks like the center locked down and the guard went around and the Boylan came in behind and they got 8 yards.
Spread formation, Boylan now on the right side of Farrell. Couple Eagles jump on the hard count, and that'll be a free first down for the Panthers. Encouragement on the defense.
Flag on the play will be offsides against the Eagles.
And it looked to be on number 56, Charlie Vialau.
That penalty give the Panthers a first down.
Trips right. Pass to the right side. It's caught. Got a couple of blockers out in front of him. He'll be brought down at about the 16-yard line.
Farrell's pass complete to
The catch was made by Michael Egger.
Yeah, Michael almost intercepted that. He almost tried to jump it and then came back and got the tackle.
Duke Beamer on the tackle for the Eagles.
Oh, excuse me, Beamer almost jumped it. Yeah.
Probably on the 2nd and 5.
Tiaki in motion. It's a run for Boylan. Spin move back inside and a huge hit put on by one of the Eagles players.
That's
Looks to be number
Boylan,
50, Jean-Pierre Legayader. Lay a hit right there on Boylan.
Nice little spin move by Boylan right there.
He's been shifty.
Yeah.
Pass downfield to Egger, and he dropped it, bobbled it as it came in. The defender making the tackle, breaking it up. And that looked like Pedroza.
First pass is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down and 3 for the Panthers.
So another 4th down. And right now, you've had Boylan make a couple of nice runs. You think you might want to give the ball back to him with how this offensive line has controlled that line against the Eagles.
Yeah, and I think that's what Washougal's thinking. They're thinking that they would have.
Here's a pass. Egger with the catch this time, brought down at the 5-yard line.
To Egger.
Hinton and Beamer on the tackle.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Well, first and goal now for the Panthers at the 5-yard line. Both of us wrong on that one as they go to the air.
The corner was playing a little soft, and Eggers it seems to be their best guy, and so they're going to flip it out there and try to get some yards after catch and get that first down.
7 receptions for 47 yards. Boylan up the middle, bouncing around like a pinball, and he finds his way into the end zone. Washougal now leads 13-0.
And gets another.
So you just had to wait one more play, Corey.
Yeah.
Then we had that one, but Boylan, a nice run, bouncing off a couple of Eagles and finds his way into the end zone. This guy just keeps churning his legs.
Yeah. Washougal's front line is doing a really good job. They're not really doing a lot of fancy stuff, but they're just getting hands on guys, and Boylan's finding the holes and banging it in there.
So Boylan set to kick with Tristan Farrell on the hold. Made the last one with ease on the other side of the field. And this one's low, right off the offensive lineman. Never got in the air underneath it. And so Washougal will lead 13-0 with 9:43 left to go until halftime.
It'll be Washougal 13, Eagles 0.
Corey, what did you pick up from that drive, both from the Eagles and from the Panthers side? It looked like the Eagles starting to get worn down defensively.
Yeah, I mean, they're just pounding the ball with Boylan, and like I said, there's not a lot of movement up front except for man-on-man stuff. I saw a couple folds or what I might think is a trap or something, but Boylan's a good runner, and he's just finding holes and picking them apart. And he has the ability to run. I mean, we saw him run over a guy to get in the end zone on the first touchdown, and here he's spinning out of the way of the other one. So he's got a little bit of thunder and a little bit of lightning in him. So
2 touchdowns for Boylan. Holden B back to kick. Beamer and Hinton back to receive the kick for Hudson's Bay. Beamer's taking the first 2 kicks from B. A low kick, this one going towards Hinton. Picks it up at about the 17-yard line, looking for a couple of blockers. Right around the edge, Garrett Mansfield looked like he was going to get blocked by Beamer, threw his man to the side and makes the tackle on Hinton.
First and 10 Eagles at the 28-yard line.
And outside of that fumble for Washougal, there's another look at Mansfield. And 21, John Davey in on the tackle as well. Washougal, not many mistakes so far here early on. They've had a holding penalty and then they had the fumble, but other than that, they've played a pretty well-rounded game.
And they're mixing it up with the pass and the run, and so far it's been pretty balanced.
Dean Jesus Castillo at the quarterback, trips left for the Eagles. Screen pass to the outside, bouncing around and taken down. In on that tackle was Xavier Gilmore. On the catch, Mateo Verona.
Castillo's pass is complete to number 20, Mateo Verona.
Here's one more look at it. The swing pass is not really opening things up right now for the Eagles.
It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Eagles.
What success they had on their previous drive was the quick passing plays over the middle. As Castillo has Hinton to his left, trips right. Has trouble with the snap. Now he's got to step up. And Washougal will take him down in the backfield. Gabriel Kent and Ryan Tute with the tackle.
Castillo sacked on the play.
And Castillo already starting behind the 8 ball, bobbling that snap out of the gun. And you have to wonder, is he possibly thinking elsewhere before he gets that snap, because Washougal's been firing up the field on the defensive front.
Very good linebacker play by Washougal tonight, and Washougal in years past as well. They just always traditionally have a really good linebacker core.
Castillo caught up by the rush. The throw incomplete, intended for Devontae Moore. And it looked to be broken up by Xavier Gilmore again. And again, just this front line right now for Washougal, and they're blitzing linebacker causing pressure. Castillo couldn't get his body into that throw, and that's why it ended up into the ground.
I'll make it 4th down, Eagles.
Liam Atkin adding pressure that time around, so it'll be 4th and 13 for the Eagles. They'll punt. Tiaki and Reynolds back to receive the kick. This punt end over end. And there's a nice return on the outside down to the 20 and pushed out at about the 16-yard line. And correction, that was Gavin Moulter, who received that punt. A great move by him, coming up on it, not letting the ball bounce. You never know where it goes. Possible block in the back there.
Yeah.
Opening things up right there.
I didn't want to say anything, but no one saw it except for me, maybe. But the very first guy at the ball got blocked in the back. He didn't seem to act too happy. But that's high school football. Sometimes you don't get them and you get them, and sometimes you get them when you don't get them.
Reynolds in the backfield right now with Farrell. Trips left, going out in motion for a swing pass to the right. He'll get it, and a stick made by number 15, Pablo Pedroza. He is slow to get up. He is not moving his arm as he quickly runs off the field. He made the tackle on Reynolds. Nice play, though. And he is rolling around in pain right now on his sideline.
Number 16.
Still not moving that right arm, but Reynolds still in the backfield with Farrell. Tight end to the left. Reynolds takes the pitch and hit in the backfield.
Reynolds again around the left side.
Tackle made by number 52, Hayden de Grand Prix.
A couple hard hits right in a row. Just went around the edge and came up and popped them. Two big hits from Hudson's Bay.
Yeah, de Grand Prix, one of the linebackers on this 3-4 front for the Eagles. And it looks like Washougal is going to set up trips right. Pistol formation, now Reynolds motions out to the right. Over the middle, tipped and unable to bring it in was Jamarian Hinton. Athletic play out of the linebacker position, trying to intercept that one. It looked like it was intended for Moulter.
Yeah, they ran verticals there and had a splitter in the middle, and the quarterback was trying to hit the splitter in the middle, but the linebacker did a really good job of getting depth in his drop. He was able to make an athletic play and swipe it out of the air. So great play by Hinton.
So Washougal will call a timeout as it looks to be about 4th and 8 right now for the Panthers.
You know,
listen, they haven't had much success getting it down the field right now, so if you're the Eagles, you might want to drop back a little bit and see what you can prevent.
It's a little interesting to me that
After conducting a nationwide search, Vancouver Public Schools has its new superintendent right in its own backyard. The school board has selected Jeff Snell to lead the district beginning July 1st. Dr. Snell is currently the superintendent at the Camas School District and is likely a familiar face for many of us. Before taking over at Camas, he had a long career in Vancouver Public Schools, including principal at Fort Vancouver High School. So we'd like to give a congratulations to Dr. Snell.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I was friends with the old superintendent, and we're getting a really good one. He's a Vancouver School District guy, and I'm really glad that we got a good new one.
So 4th and 15, and a couple Eagles in the backfield. Tristan Farrell will go down. And the Eagles get the sack.
4th and 15, a sack.
Peyton Isaacson and Christopher Martin end up with the sack for the Eagles and a turnover on downs against the Panthers.
Yeah, before we did the introduction of our new superintendent, I was going to talk a little bit. The interesting thing is Hudson's Bay and Washougal has had success on the ground. And every time they go away from the ground, they don't have success. So, you know, it's interesting that we go away from the ground when it's working. So it's probably a natural thing to, you know, say, hey, we've been running a lot. Let's spread the ball around, you know.
And at some point, you probably beat yourself in the head. Too many mind games.
Yeah, but
13-0 lead right now for the Panthers.
And you are talking to a running back coach that really loves the ball in the running back's hands.
Spread formation, 2 receivers on both sides. In motion on the outside and brought down in the backfield by Xavier Gilmore. A flag flies, though, seems to be after the play. Raven Barnes was in motion for the Eagles. We'll see what they call here.
Possible horse collar, maybe? Maybe face mask?
The referee's still discussing things out on the field. Clarification just yet. And you're right, Corey, that is a horse collar tackle by Washougal.
Yeah, you're allowed to grab the back of the jersey, but if you get the back of the shoulder pad, it's a penalty. And you know, a lot of kids, they'll tackle high and grab jersey, and it looks like a horse collar, and it's not. But the minute you start grabbing onto those shoulder pads, the refs are the hankies are coming.
Ryder Bond and Raven Barnes, the wide receivers on the near side. Tight end Justin Jones, Phelan, also on the near side. There's a rush by Hinton up the middle. Brought down after a minimal gain. Boylan in on that tackle along with Garrett Mansfield.
But that minimal gain got him a first down.
And that's all that matters. You keep moving those chains.
Yeah.
So we are now under 6 minutes in the second quarter. Tight end on the left side for the Eagles. With Bond and Barnes. Now another rush by Hinton. He spun around and brought down by Gabriel Kent.
He'll pick up 5 yards on the play.
About 5 yards. And so the Eagles back on Washougal's side of the field at the 49-yard line. And that is not a good sign for the Hudson's Bay Eagles. As Jamarian Hinton, your star running back, is hurt and he has to be carried off the field. Literally carried off the field. And now you're wondering for Bay who's going to take over in the backfield. Hinton last week, 90 yards and a touchdown for Bay in their 15-8 loss to Mark Morris. Raven Barnes now the running back in the backfield. It's a pass going to the outside, caught, and Xavier Gilmore with the tackle. Gain of about 4 on that play. It'll be 3rd and 2. Catch was made by Ryder Bond.
Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
And right now they're just trying to get a short passing game going, trying to go off on the edge.
Doing what they did on the last drive, they got them down to the 2, just pieces and pieces. You know, they got 5 on that first run with the little tight end and just slip in behind where there's holes and tried to flip it out to 10 and get a little extra yards, but not trying to do too much.
2 receivers on the near side. Raven Barnes with the rush, the stiff arm. He's got himself a first down. A flag is thrown. And multiple Panthers there on the tackle at the 38-yard line, but this one looks like it might be coming back. A flag was thrown at the 45-yard line.
Looks like one early and one late. Usually the early's hold and the late is probably someone said something they shouldn't have said. So we'll see what happens here. Good run.
Yeah, solid run for Raven Barnes. Strong stiff arm on the outside to give him some space. First call is going to be a hold on the offense.
A absolute drive killer when you get holds. It's one of the toughest penalties in football. It's just so many yards, and it's so hard to get over that 10-yard loss, especially after a really good run.
You have to think about it. They had a hold on their second drive of the game. They were starting to get things going, and then they had a holding penalty, knocked them back, and they were unable to recover from there. Twins up on the far side of the field. Devontae Moore, the near receiver. Tight end and Raven Barnes in the backfield. Jesus Castillo scanning over the defense. Panthers look like they're coming with a blitz. They bring 5. Castillo to the air on the outside to Moore, and he can't make a play on it. Defensively, Carson Morris was the DB trying to break up the pass to Moore. And now it'll be 4th and 11 for the Eagles. It looks like they're all set to punt. Not a bad idea, he just needs to get some more air on it and on the outside for Moore to have a better chance at it.
I like the little freeze play there when you get the hold for 10 yards and you're 3rd down and 11. I like to freeze there, which is just hard snap count to try to get at least 5 back, so where you don't have to get such a long pass.
Here's a high punt, not so much far, and it goes out of bounds. It'll look to be at around the 42, 43-yard line of Washougal. There is a flag on the field at the 49-yard line. And if you're Washougal, you've played a relatively clean half for Hudson's Bay. They've had a couple of penalties that have really hurt them. And on the replay, I don't see anything initially off the bat.
The location is like a block in the back, but there wasn't. The ball didn't go a long ways. There wasn't a lot of blocking to do, but that's kind of what it looks like, or hold.
The referee's still trying to confirm what's happening out on the field. 3:40 left to go in the half. Washougal leads 13-0, so it is a hold on Washougal. And they'll take over 1st down for the Panthers. The flag was at the 49-yard line, Corey. Did they take it from where the ball went out of bounds or where the flag was at this point?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like they're going to get 15 yards and and maybe it was a roughing the kicker. I didn't look back there. It was a hold. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was looking at the replay while you were talking and not listening. I apologize.
You're all good.
The Panthers will take over the 30-yard line.
It looks like, though, it's from where the ball went out of bounds, it looks like.
Oh, gotcha.
So 1st and 10 from the Panthers 30, spread formation. Tiaki in motion. Here's a rush up the middle by Boylan. He's fighting off a couple of Eagles. There's 3 of them there. He's still on his feet churning. Man, does Boylan keep putting up a fight in the middle of that scrum. Here's another look at it. He's a small guy, strong frame from Boylan.
No gain, it'll be 2nd and 10.
4 different Eagles there. Man in motion. Coming back to the left side of the field. A deep pass and incomplete. Intended for 17, Brig Griffin.
Pass is incomplete.
And he almost had his man there. Slightly underthrown. Griffin almost backpedaling into that one and fell to the ground. But had his man beat. Pedroza had his back turned the entire time, never looked back for it. Another spread look. Looks like the Eagles are bringing pressure. They do on the edge. Farrell sets up a screen pass for Boylan. He's got an opening on the left side. There's a first down. A flag flies and brought down at the 46-yard line is Boylan. So off the initial screen, beautifully set up by Washougal. They have the first down. Let's see what the flag is all the way back at the 31-yard line. And there was nobody really on that side of the field. Where that flag was thrown, you have to maybe wonder if something happened back with the quarterback.
Maybe roughing the passer. A good friend of mine, old defensive line coach over at Columbia River, he always said that if it was too easy, it was probably screen. And I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, it was too easy.
If you were a D lineman right there, that was just too easy. And you're supposed to know when it's too easy to stop because it's probably a screen. So, and that's what I mean. That quarterback just went straight back pedal and screened to Boylan. So.
And the penalty was on Washougal, actually, so they're backing up the Panthers. Not quite sure what that call was on the field. Trips left.
Maybe delay of game? I mean, it's the only thing I can think of back there.
Yeah, it's only a 5-yard penalty. Pitch to the outside, and Boylan met in the backfield, staying on his feet. Probably should have just gone down after the initial hit put on by number 52, Hayden de Grand Prix, De Grand Prix pinned his ears back, came right up the line, and put that initial hit on Boylan. You got to give it to Boylan, hanging tough, staying up on his feet. Eagles will call timeout with 2:27 left in that.
Yeah, Hudson's Bay's playing super physical, man. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, we've seen the play on the end, the play over here, and now the play here where they're just super physical. I mean, that's what I think of when I think of Hudson's Bay High School is a bunch of physical kids. You know, I grew up in the area and was supposed to be a Hudson's Bay Eagle guy. You know, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about this. 25 short years ago, I was on my bike riding down, and just north of the stadium there was a baseball field, and I used to come and watch football, and wanted to be a Hudson's Bay Eagle, as an 8th grader, as a 9th grader. So, yeah, it's Hudson's Bay's got a lot of tradition of having physical kids.
First punt for the Panthers. Moulter back to punt. Looks like Pedroza. Correction, it's not Pedroza back to receive the punt. But the Panthers will get a friendly roll, and they will down this one at the 47-yard line. Strangely enough, it looked like Hayden de Grand Prix was back there receiving the punt for the Eagles.
Yeah, just expand on that story. I can remember peeking my eyes over and legends like for all those Hudson's Bay people out there, Tim McNall, which I think is a police officer in Camas, and Eddie McCollum, and I was just a young buck wanting to be like those guys. So yeah, it was played football at Shumway. We were pretty tough inner city kids back then. It's not inner city anymore. It's downtown's pretty nice.
Two receivers on the far side with a tight end for the Eagles. First play, after the punt, a run up the middle. Minimal gain of 2 yards. And it looks like Marion Hinton is back in the game, and now he's limping off the field after one rush. And running back on now is going to be Raven Barnes.
I think he got a little cramp there based on the way the coach handled it. The coach went out and whipped him up and carried him over there to get his cramp out.
Got to get that pickle juice going.
Yeah, or mustard. What was it? Pickle juice and mustard. That's the old school.
Pass on the outside caught. Gilmore missed the first tackle. And Boylan comes in Liam Atkin also will get credit with the tackle. Catch was made by number 28, Caden Gonzalez. And that'll be a first down for the Eagles as we enter the final 90 seconds of the half. Eagles trying to get on the board. Last time these two teams played, they were shut out 40-0. And they had a goal line stand by Washougal, preventing the Eagles from getting in back in the first quarter. Three receivers to the right. Castillo over the middle and through the hands of Ryder Bond. A high pass over the middle is incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Washougal playing man there with a single high and got a guy over the middle, and the safety was right there to be in the middle of it. It was overthrown.
Couple subs coming in now for the Eagles. Raven Barnes still in the backfield. Hinton is on the sideline after limping off after the first play of this drive. Two receivers each side. Pass to the outside, long throw, bobbled and brought in. That looked to be Caden Gonzalez again on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like Hudson's Bay's noticing what I'm noticing. They're playing man, they're playing a little soft. So they had three guys kind of run an 8-yard hitch there, and that's what they tried to get is on a hitch. And he bobbled it. Had he not bobbled it, he might have gotten more yards.
I'll bring up 3rd and 8, just under a minute remaining.
So Gonzalez now coming to the near side of your screen. Ryder Bond at the top of your screen with Pedroza, and a blitz up the middle. Taken down in the backfield is Dean Jesus Castillo. In on that tackle, number 24.
Castillo
Liam Atkin.
sacked by number 24, Liam Atkin.
And Atkin just coming from his safety position, coming out from the edge.
Timeout Washougal.
Yeah, with that tackle, Washougal really jumped on a timeout right away with 30 seconds, thinking maybe they can get a little bit of time to try to score before the half. Well-timed blitz, you know, 3rd and long. Good time to blitz, and got a man through and got that tackle, and they got a timeout, and they're hoping to get the ball back with a little bit of time.
4th and 17 right now for the Eagles. The last couple of punts have really gone their way necessarily. The last one went off the side of their foot and only went about 15 yards down the field, so they're looking for a different experience this time around. For Washougal, you've got, when you get the ball, you're probably going to have about 25 seconds left, depending on how big this return is. What type of play do you think they have in mind?
I mean, they might just take a shot. You know, I'm pretty sure Terry Hyde, who is the offensive coordinator, and he likes to throw the ball downfield, and they'll probably take a couple shots in the middle of the field or on the edge.
An angled punt to the right side. This one actually boomed back there. Taken in by Moulter, and he's near the sideline, tiptoeing and out of bounds.
That was a great punt.
That was a
very good punt.
Best punt of the night so far for the Eagles.
Or he's run out of bounds.
And here's another look at it. Moulter just stepping out of bounds. The Panthers take over at their own 23-yard line with 20.2 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, with 20 seconds left, I don't know how many timeouts. It looks like 0 on the board, but I don't know if the board's correct. If there's no timeouts, you're going to work the edges. If there is timeouts, you're going to work the middle of the field, but we'll see what they'll do.
Oh. And they're just going to take a knee to end the half, but Hudson's Bay calls a timeout before the snap.
Timeout Eagles.
And it looked like Washougal was just ready to give up for the rest of the half, take a knee, and just take this 13-0 lead into half.
Well, it was a great punt. Put them down there on the 20-yard line. It's going to be hard to go 80 yards in 20 seconds, so Washougal's doing the smart play and just taking a knee and gonna go into halftime and, you know, make their adjustments and see what they can do. But, you know, watching both clubs, you know, the running the football on the ground has been beneficial to both of them. Now Hudson's Bay, they're bringing a lot of, they're getting a lot of pressure from the Washougal defense, and they're playing man on the outside, and the middle of the field is open. And I have a feeling that Hudson's Bay will make that adjustment and try to throw the ball to the middle of the field. You know, they're spreading them out and they're playing man, and it's really hard to chase a guy through the middle of the field from the outside. So.
And so Tristan Farrell will take a knee out of the gun position, and that looks like it'll end the first half here And Kiggins Bowl, 13-0 lead for Washougal over Hudson's Bay here in the first half. We'll get a highlight package going here. We can talk a little bit about that first half, but right now, if you're talking about the main player that's really made big contributions, that's been Peter Boylan.
Yeah, Peter Boylan, no doubt. I mean, a good-sized back, has the ability to run you over, has the ability to run around you, and also has great vision. I mean, his vision has been really good. You know, he'll get into the line, find a little crease, and then get going. So definitely Boylan is.
And here's a look at the first half highlights. This is Boylan's first touchdown run that he had on the right side. And, you know, it's been the blocking up front. It seems like Washougal has had the edge on that front line on both sides of the ball. Now, Hudson's Bay has made a couple of nice plays, but overall it's been mostly all Washougal. Here's a play that went the Eagles' way with the fumble as Pedroza ends up with it. But overall, how would you say this first half went for both sides, Corey?
I actually think it's been pretty good football other than the turnovers. It's been super physical on both sides. Line play has been very good, evident by the amount of yards in running. Yeah, evident by the amount of yards that both backs have. So the lines are doing a great job, and it's been super physical and fun to watch, really, from up here.
Yeah, the one bright spot for Hudson's Bay is even though their offense has struggled a little bit, their defensive line has made a couple of nice plays. They've stopped a couple of Washougal drives, preventing them from scoring. Because this game could have gotten out of hand. They got that fumble where it looked like Washougal was driving down the field. They could have a 20-0 lead right now for all we know.
Yeah, and conversely, it could be 7-0 too, you know, and maybe not even 7-0. But again, it's been pretty good football in the first half, and I'm sure the coaches are going to make their adjustments, and we'll have an exciting second half.
That's Corey Kier. I'm Brian Slyke. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with the second half kickoff when we return.
Hi, I'm Orion Ludlow, a teacher at Fort Vancouver High School. Based on information from the Washington State Department of Health, Vancouver Public Schools is preparing to begin hybrid learning for middle and high school students. Today we're going to take a look at how that's going to look, keeping in mind student and staff safety. Hybrid learning is part in-school instruction and part at-home learning. Students will be placed into two groups, A and B. A students will attend class in person on Mondays and Tuesdays, with B students in person on Thursdays and Fridays. Students learn remotely the other 3 days of the week. Between Wednesday will be a day of deep cleaning. Schools will be ventilated at maximum levels. Before students can attend school each day, their parents will confirm that they don't have COVID symptoms using an online form emailed directly to them. On school buses, students will have access to masks and hand sanitizer, and distancing will be maintained. Student pickup and drop-off will take place in designated areas, and to reduce crowding, students should be dropped off as close to the start of school as possible. Before students can enter school buildings, temperature scanners will check for fevers of 100.4 degrees or higher. If a student tests higher than 100.4, they'll be retested. If the second test returns the same temperature, they'll need to go home. In the hallways, student transitions will be limited and staggered to avoid unnecessary contact and preserve distancing. Schools may have arrows or one-way hallways to reduce congestion. Students won't be allowed to gather in groups anywhere on school grounds. At lunch, students will sit 6 feet apart and may have assigned seating to allow for contact tracing if needed. Each building may have slightly different protocols to enforce distancing rules, and school staff will share the details with students and parents. Masks or face shields with a drape will be required at all times. The district can provide masks for students if needed. In the classroom, students will maintain 6 feet of distance between one another. Hand sanitizer will be available as well. Students will bring their own devices to school for classroom use, and sharing of common objects or tools will be minimized, with sanitation happening between each use. Hybrid learning is the first step to getting back to full-time in-person learning. How do we get there? Do the right thing at school and at home. Wear a mask, practice social distancing. Let's get back to business. We can't wait to see you back at school.
If you're interested in sustainability, engineering, and working outdoors, then consider joining Hudson's Bay High School's ACES full-day magnet program. What's ACES, you ask? ACES stands for Architecture, Construction, and Environmental Services, but it's so much more. Here, students come together to create sustainable design projects in our local community by mixing and matching classes in their fields of interest. The ACES Magnet is focused on creating community-oriented, career-ready students equipped with leadership skills to help you excel in life after high school.
I want them to learn science for sure, but I also want them to be really educated citizens in the world. So I want them to understand how science works for them and how to understand data or to understand things they might be hearing about on TV and actually applying those things in real life.
There are several fields of study in Bay ACES. Let's start with horticulture. In horticulture, you'll study and grow the most common plants used in the nursery industry, experience floral design, landscape design, and sustainability, and help manage one of Hudson's Bay's greenhouse operations. The courses will prepare you to be knowledgeable in the science, art, and business of sustainable landscape design and horticulture. Through a variety of hands-on learning, you will obtain knowledge and practical skills that will enable you to be a competent horticulturist and prepare you to enter the numerous career paths that involve horticulture, landscaping, growing food, and general plant maintenance. Laboratory activities help you develop the knowledge and skills necessary to do scientific inquiry, which will earn you science equivalency credit. If horticulture is where your passion lies, continue to the advanced courses. Students who complete all 3 horticulture classes are eligible for more than 20 credits from Clackamas Community College.
Plus we tie in with FFA and skills activities that the kids can be involved with. So we have students that are at the University of Washington in landscape architecture to kids that go right out into the industry and start their own businesses and working in the field with the skills that they've developed while they were in the magnet.
Bay ACES also offers construction training. The Department of Labor projects more than 80,000 new construction jobs over the next decade, and the Bay ACES Construction Trades Program creates career pathways directly into the industry. You will learn how to work with a variety of machines and processes found in the construction trades. That includes framing, electrical, plumbing, reading blueprints, and weatherization. You will learn how to use tools and power machines to produce finished products. Students can earn the OSHA 10 certification as well as CPR, AED, and First Aid certification. Students who complete the 3-year series of construction courses are eligible to be recognized as completers of a Washington State recognized apprenticeship preparation program, and certificates are kept by the Carpenters Union. This recognition also earns the students points on the Carpenters Apprenticeship application, which offers priority to the candidate. Teamwork is a vital skill in any workplace, and the majority of shop time will be spent working with others. The work ethic and skills learned in this class will be valuable for any career field.
You get to refine your skills, and you can take those skills right out of here into a job and into an apprenticeship program where you can be paid to go to school and learn the skills that you need to become a journeyman carpenter.
Engineering is another option in the Bay ACES program. Engineering courses allow you to use your creativity plus industry-based tools to create solutions to interesting design challenges. Although engineering design is the focus, the knowledge and skills taught are transferable to other technical and scientific areas of study. Students come together to solve numerous technical challenges using a variety of industry standard software, Autodesk, Inventor 3D Solid Modeling, and Microsoft Excel, plus fabrication devices including a 3D printer, laser engraver, and CNC machine.
I think I'll have a lot more knowledge and information on different programs I can do in the future, like different job opportunities.
Bay ACES also offers natural resources and conservation courses. Natural resources covers all the things that people use from the planet to make our lives possible. You will learn subjects such as soils, ecosystems, land and water use, climate change, fish and wildlife, energy and recreational resources. Field and laboratory experiences are emphasized.
I've gained so much more people skills. I used to be so incredibly quiet and I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to speak in front of big groups. But ACES and the teachers that are involved really would push me out there, and I got to be involved in all sorts of competitions and helping younger students and even older students too. So it really helped me expand my boundaries.
You will also explore careers related to natural resource conservation and management. Natural resources and advanced natural resources courses are credited as science or occupational education courses. Courses progress so you can plan a career pathway and become knowledgeable in current environmental and natural resource careers based on industry standards. Get on your career pathway by applying to the Hudson's Bay Aces Magnet Program.
Welcome back. Just about to start the second half. Washougal is leading Hudson's Bay 13-0. Brian Slide, Corey here with your call. And early on, Washougal scoring on the very first drive thanks to a turnover on the very first play by Hudson's Bay, a fumble on a sweep play. And then it looked like Hudson Bay was going to go in and score. And then it was a goal line stand at the 2-yard line by Washougal. And that's how they kept the Eagles off the board, and then they turned another turnover into some points, and that's how they've got the 13-0 score.
Yeah, it's been a hard-fought game, lots of big hits. It's about turnovers and running the football. A lot of success when both teams run the football, and not so much success when they pass the football. So it'll be interesting to see if they come out and try to ground and pound again. The game has been a very good game.
Yeah, you mentioned not a lot of success passing through the air on either side of the ball. They've set up a couple screen plays, a couple slants, not really hitting much downfield. In fact, I think we've only seen 3 or 4 passes go past 15 yards for either side. But you're expecting a lot more of a run game this time around here in the second half with how these two teams played in the first half.
I mean, they had success doing it, so why not go back to it? And there's some little tweaks here and there that every coach sees. A lot of coaching staffs have an ecosystem where they can look at replay film. Plus, they have experts in the box. I was talking about how Washougal has another head coach. Well, he's sitting up here in the box, and he's head coach for years, and he knows the adjustments that he needs to make. So, you have your box guys making adjustments. You can look at film, and I'm sure they're both going to find something to help them try to win the football game in the second half.
Let's give you some score updates from around the league. And around this area here in Southwest Washington, the 2A field, Ridgefield currently leads Mark Morris 42-0 at halftime. Woodland leads R.A. Long 21-0 at halftime. For 4A, Union leads 32-13 over Mountain View. You and I were talking about field goals not really being much of a factor at the high school level. Well, guess what? Union hit a 47-yard field goal to end the half to get to 32-13.
Yeah, you don't see that much in high school. I mean, 47 is a big number.
And the final score throughout the area, Skyview in 4A currently leads 34-0 over Prairie. So high-scoring affairs all across the league right now here in Southwest Washington, as Washougal is holding on to their 13-0 lead here at halftime. As the players have come out, they're stretching before we get things kicked off.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm just glad we're playing football. You and I have been together doing radio. We had the little podcast when the pandemic started, and we talked about many podcasts on whether there'd even be a football season, and it's just super exciting that these kids get to come out. And I can remember when they said there was going to be 5 games, and I'm like, 5 games? That's not fair. And now
5 games is better than no games at that point, right?
And now the 5 games just feel they're glorious that we get to play 5 games, and just getting the chance to get back and be around the kids and the fun of football. Clark County has incredible football. I mean, we were blessed with really great football. I mean, Camas High School's won state titles, and Hawkinson's won state titles, and we interviewed Kalama on our podcast. He's won state titles. I mean, there's just great football all around. I mean, Mountain View's well coached. They're just all well coached. So it's really good football here in Clark County. I'm glad that the kids get these games.
And talk about, like, even as seniors getting the opportunity to still play even in this 5-game schedule that you have going, because even across the river they're not doing any football in the spring right now, so these kids really fortunate here in Southwest Washington to even get a small season.
100%. Like at Columbia River, 4 short years ago I stood in front of what is now the senior class, and I told them that I really thought they were a special group and a lot of great things were going to happen, and coming into the season, these 28 kids are now not going to get a season. So it's exciting.
Washougal open up the game, kicking things off. Hudson Bay turned the ball over on the very first play. So the Panthers from Washougal will open things up in the second half with the ball. And again, the main story in that first half was Peter Boylan just tearing things up on the ground, finding the holes in the big hog mollies up front for Washougal, opening up holes both inside and outside.
Yeah.
A special moment in Ridgefield last weekend, Corey. I know it's close to your heart, but Ridgefield in their first home game last week honored a Ridgefield fixture in the community and Coach Taz Roberts, who passed away in November to ALS, and I know he made a big impact on you.
Yeah, big impact on me. He's been friends. You know, I've known him from the coaching industry, but I've also known him from the construction industry, and him and I have been together since, you know, I can remember when he was 20 and I was 19, and we were just young bucks, and he's just did a really good job coaching out in Richfield. He's a very inspirational person. You know, last year he started the Coaches Alliance, where we got a bunch of head coaches together over at his house just to meet and talk football, and it's a sad deal that he's gone, but he will definitely be remembered.
Well, the two Panthers back to receive the kick. Gavin Moulter and Renton Reynolds for Washougal.
Yeah, and I really like seen a lot of clubs around wearing the Taz 40 on their tape, and there's some stickers coming. I talked to Jonah, which is his son, and Jonah's going to get me a Taz 40 sticker for my foot. I have a hard hat I wear in practice. It's a football helmet, and I want my Taz 40 sticker.
Well, we're finally set to start the second half with the kickoff from Hudson's Bay. And another key factor for Hudson's Bay was penalties. They were a huge issue for this Eagles squad in the first half. Here, Squib one, a high bounce for Reynolds. He can take it. Breaking through one tackle and eventually brought down at the 37, 38-yard line. And they'll mark him off. Well, one ref has him at the 47, the other one has him at the 48, so we'll see where they mark him off at. It looks like it will be the 47-yard line. So not the best position that the Panthers have been in today, but they're in a great spot.
Yeah, one thing we haven't talked about is that both squads have cheer squads out here. They're not really cheering to fans, but they're cheering towards the game, and those ladies put in a lot of work, and we appreciate it.
Pistol formation. Boylan takes the handoff, bounces it to the outside. Tripped up and brought down after a gain of 2. Brought down by number 4, Raven Barnes. As Levi Michele slow getting up for the Eagles that time around.
Levi's had a very good game from the middle linebacker position. He's been in a lot of tackles tonight.
It's a pass on the outside. It's an opening. Shrinking down the sideline is Michael Egger and brought down at the 26-yard line. And that looked to be number 52, Hayden de Grand Prix again. The linebacker for the Eagles bringing down Egger. And it looked like Beamer, just missed the open tackle on Egger.
A lot of yards after catch there, and a great little stiff arm to get another 5-6 yards after the stiff arm.
So 3 wide receivers to the left for the Panthers. Boylan sitting up on the right side of Farrell. Be a pass to the left. Farrell rolling out, trying to get away from a couple of defenders. Got away from 2, and he'll just dive forward, trying to minimal loss on the play. It'll be at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, he's going to watch film tonight and see that Gavin Tyak was wide open over there on the 10-yard line and had his hand in the air, but got grabbed onto him about the time he was wide open. So those are the woulda, coulda, shouldas of high school football. Go back to the huddle and tell your boy that, hey, man, I was wide open. Hit me.
Isn't that the story of every receiver?
Oh, yeah.
You're always open.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where I'm at on the field. Here's another pass, this time to the right side, and the receiver slipping on the ground was Gavin Moulter, so incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 13. Correction, 4th and 14.
Yeah, again, here we are in that 2-down territory. I mean, it's a 3rd and 15, but going to try to tack on some yards here.
Yep, 3rd and 13.
Yeah, I expect them to work the middle of the field. They're in it looks like they're in a cover 3.
As a safety comes up now, yeah, they're dropping back. Looks like they're doing a cover or a man over the middle, caught. Beamer bringing down the receiver in Tyaki.
See, what I tell you, Tyaki went back and he said I was wide open, and he attacked the middle of the field, and he was wide open in the middle of the field.
That'll be a first down for the Panthers on 3rd and 13. A huge play over the middle, and that's one of the first longer completions we've seen from either side tonight.
Yeah, they've run that play a couple times. They run verticals on the outside, and they have a splitter, and they were showing 2. And he was, and they rolled the 1, and when they rolled the 1, he just crossed his face and he was wide open. So
you've got the 1 safety over the middle right now. The corner's dropping back, could be cover 3. Here's a run up the middle. Correction on the outside.
Little different look there. Boylan led block and put a pretty big pop on the DN there.
And Moulter with the carry on that last one. Good pop from Boylan. Not enough to keep the block, though.
Yeah, Hayden D. Grand Prix did a really good job of shedding that block and still making the tackle.
Well, here's a pass on 2nd down. A swing pass to the outside to Boylan. Trying to get rid of 1 tackler into Grand Prix. Again, coming up with a tackle for the Eagles.
Hudson's Bay's linebackers flying around making plays.
So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line for the Panthers. 2 receivers on each side. Boylan in the backfield with Farrell. They're going to pass this one on the outside, and it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. So that front 3 and the backer for the Eagles able to break up that pass, and now it'll be 4th and goal. And if you're Washougal, what are you drawing up, Corey?
Again, I like working the middle of the field in the end zone. They're playing a single high man on the outside, and either run the football and slip a tight end or work from the outside in. Actually, it looks like they're going to go ahead and kick it.
Yep, they're going for a field goal. Again, Peter Boylan back to kick. Missed the extra point. Hit it right into the back of his lineman the last time out. Can he get some lift on this one? He does. This one looked to be wide left, and it was wide left, no good for Washougal. And so they come up empty on this drive. It's still 13-0, and Hudson's Bay still very much in this football game.
Yeah, stop from them getting points. They get that there, and then they got 3 drives to get this, the 16 points or making 2s or whatever. But, yeah, kind of a win there for Hudson's Bay.
Here's another look at that last one, and just pushed that one too much, trying to get it up in the air. So Bay will come out with a couple of receivers on the near side, with the H-back just behind the left tackle. Hinton still on the sideline. Taking that carry was Raven Barnes, and he'll be wrapped up after a gain of 1 yard by a bunch of Panthers. So it'll be 2nd and 9. And the defensive line holding strong for Washougal up front.
Yeah, doing a really good job of holding ground, staying in their gaps, and then when the back comes up, getting their hands on him.
2 receivers on the near side. Again, the H-back and Justice Jones Phelan. The left side of the formation. Castillo back to pass. And he'll be brought down. The pass was thrown. We'll see if he was sacked or if they'll let him go. And they're going to say he was down on the ground. And Castillo in pain, rolling around on the 10-yard line. And here's a look at the replay. Fell hard. As the training staff comes out, and they're looking at him right now.
Yeah, it looked like Bay was trying to get to the seams there. They had a single high, bringing pressure, and they had a slant at the top of the screen, or a post at the top of the screen, and a slant at the bottom trying to get into the seam, and they just didn't have enough time to get the pass off.
So Dean Jesus Castillo still on the ground at the moment, taking off his gloves, and assuming going to be replacing Castillo is Raven Barnes.
Yeah, Washougal's brought a lot of pressure when in passing downs. They haven't been afraid to blitz, and if you can get to the quarterback, it's a really good play.
Castillo still on the ground. No real movement from him. So now he's sitting up. And looks to be a leg injury as he's getting help off the field.
That's Dean Jesus Castillo, the injured player, after going down awkwardly.
He kind of got rolled up, and I wonder if he got rolled up. Hopefully it's just a cramp. That's what I always say as a coach and a dad. When a kid comes off the field, you always pray it's just a cramp, you know. It's a physical game, and, you know, you don't want kids to get hurt, that's for sure.
Well, Raven Barnes standing at 5'6", now the quarterback for this Eagles squad. Rolling out right. And throws this one at the feet. A flag thrown at about the 12-yard line.
There's a flag on play.
And it'll be on Hudson's Bay, so when it rains, it pours, unfortunately, for the Eagles. You lose your starting quarterback, you've lost your starting running back, and now you've got a penalty that's just going to back up the Eagles even more.
Yeah, probably a hold there. I mean, he was rolling, they ran a little boot, and he was rolling right, and it looks like maybe one of the linemen grabbed on.
It was already 3rd and 16 after the sack on Dean Jesus Castillo.
They went ahead and looks like they declined that penalty and made it
That penalty declined.
4th down now, so
That'll bring up 4th down for the Eagles.
4th and 16 for the Eagles. Isaac Finn back to punt for Hudson's Bay.
That'll bring up 4th and 16.
Walter and Reynolds back to receive the punt.
And Isaac had a boomer of a punt right before half. Really good punt before half.
Return.
Moulter, and he fumbles this one off the bounce. Couple of bodies on the ground. Didn't see who got the recovery on it. And it looks like they pointed towards Washougal. I didn't get a clean look on that one, Corey. Did you see which way the ref?
At first, I thought Washougal had it, but Bay was celebrating, so it's really hard to tell what happened. And the refs are, I'm not sure the refs know because the football ended up coming out of the pile.
Well, here's the replay of it. Let's see if we can get a good look at it. Moulter got run into right away, and it looks like Hudson's Bay ended up with the football. And some other good news for them. Their starting running back, Jamarian Hinton, now back on the field.
It looked like number 7, Chase Hart, got that fumble recovery. Yeah, one thing about punting in high school football, can be an adventure.
And we just had another flag thrown.
This is a...
Not quite sure what this one is. Devontae Moore is next to the referees trying to get an idea of what happened. But that flag came in really late. I mean, they just threw that one a few seconds ago.
It's probably a personal foul. Probably some talking, or he's coming to talk. It might be both sides might be in trouble because he's coming over to talk to the coach. Yeah, you never know in these situations, you know. They're probably down there planning where they're going for dinner. What is it, 25% open? Maybe there's a good restaurant open here after the game.
Well, it's a tough spot for Hudson's Bay. It looks like you have the ball, but
decisions. It's how far, where. It's probably a, you know, you can have it here or have it there type deal.
I can never read lips well.
No,
so it's a bit difficult with masks on.
I can barely see the roster. How many see their lips down there on the sideline? That's what happens when you get old. So
Still talking with the Hudson's Bay coaches.
Yeah, and it still is a beautiful night down here. I am looking forward to the future when this place has got a bunch of people and there's burgers being made and the cheers going. And you know, one of the things I miss the most is the bands, man. I mean, Clark County has really, really good bands, and you know, they work really, really hard in the off season. It's one of my favorite things is in the summer when the drums start going and you start hearing the horns. And I live close to high school and you can hear them working. And yeah, I miss the band music. It's definitely makes the flavor of Friday night a lot better.
Looks like he's picking up the flag. And, you know, that reminds me of my high school. They took band very seriously. They had 2 days. They were out there for 8-9 hours a day getting ready with their routines and their formations.
Oh, man, some of those bands work harder.
They work harder than we did out on the football field.
And the cheer squads. You know, some of these cheer squads are in at 6 a.m. and they're there early, and they take a lot of pride in it, and they really contribute to Friday night.
So after all that, it will be Washougal football. Tight end in motion. Number 47, Gabriel Kent. Here's a rush on the near side. Wide open. Moulter extending down the sideline for a touchdown. And Washougal, after the stoppage on the field, first play from scrimmage, it's a touchdown. And the Panthers now lead 19-0.
Just really good blocking up front, and good blocking by the receiving core of Washougal, of getting those their hands on those guys, and a lot of space, and he just scampered in.
And Moulter practically untouched after getting past the initial line.
There was a big hole. I think I could have got at least 3 or 4 yards with my big body. For the long run for Coach Keir.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
It's a long run for Coach Keir.
Panthers going for 2. Trip set up on the right side. Tight end now going over in motion, and Gabriel Kent. All 4 receivers on the right side. Here's a rush by Moulter, and he'll be stopped at the 1-yard line. It'll be no good on the 2-point conversion. It'll stay 19-0 in favor of Washougal with 7:21 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I'm still interested in what happened on the fumble. I mean, we were looking at the TV. It looked like number 7 from Hudson's Bay got on it, but apparently he didn't. And I'm not sure what the flag was. I'm so confused on what happened down there. I guess only the coaches and the refs will know that situation.
Well, if you're Hudson's Bay, you find yourself behind 19-0 right now. Still a little over halfway to go in the third quarter. And what do you expect the Eagles to do right now to try to chip away at this lead, try to get back into it right now? They're down a quarterback. Their running back seems to be going in and out of the lineup.
You just keep playing football, you know, and a lot of things can happen in a very short period of time. And I've been involved in games where we've lost a game with 3 minutes left with inside of 3 minutes left, up 10-0, and we lose the game. So there's a lot of time left in this football game.
Holden B ready to kick. As Hinton and Beamer back to receive the kick for the Eagles.
Oh, we're getting a sideline flag.
Well, they've already gotten a couple warnings for Hudson's Bay, and now they're going to get a flag as the referees are actually on the far side of the field. And it looked like they were talking to the head coach of the Panthers. And if anything, that mainly comes down to discipline, Corey. As you know you've got the lines right there, the blue lines on the sideline, letting you know how far you can go, where coaches can be, where the players can be. And they were already warned once.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a box infraction. You know, in the COVID, we're allowed to extend the box. Now the coaches aren't, but the kids are allowed to, I believe, go down to the 15 or the 10. I don't know. I'm not allowed to be outside the blue box as a coach, but I think there were some words said. I think it's going back to that situation that we just, you know, I think Hudson's Bay really thought they had the football, and it's hard to tell.
Now they're trying to get an understanding.
I feel like he might have ejected the coach, which is too bad. You know, in all my years of coaching, you know, as a baseball guy, you get ejected. And it's kind of part of the game. And as I've gotten older, getting ejected is not a fun thing, even if you're right. I'll never forget my birthday a few years ago in the summer. Got into a little scrum with an umpire, and before I know it, I was out in the parking lot, and my family was supposed to go to dinner, and it was really an embarrassing thing. And I pretty much decided that it's just not worth it anymore, you know. And the thing about it too is we're really blessed with a lot of good people that ref, umpire, you know, all the stuff that we just need to make these games go on. And sometimes our emotions get ahead of ourselves, and we say things we probably shouldn't have, and we probably need to be a little bit more lenient on the guys because they are doing the best job they can.
Yeah, it's a little different than when you're making, you know, the big bucks as Bobby Cox or Lou Piniella, you know?
Exactly. And as far as the rest go, too, if these guys were professionals and it was their only living, then, you know, and then understand, too, they've, you know, I remember the first game, you know, we're out there and we're seeing some things that we think aren't right, but the reality is they're back after a big layoff as well, so they got to get kind of into the groove of things as well.
Well, after the sideline infraction, it'll move Washougal up to the 45-yard line of Hudson's Bay, moving it up 15 yards. And if you're the Eagles right now, it's a tough spot to be. You're going to be pinned back deep in your own zone. And Beamer can't get a clean handle of it at the 5-yard line. Picks it up at the 15, and he'll be brought down at the 16. He was brought down by Tyler Hagen and Holden B. Kicker getting in on the action there.
Yeah, that one would have gone in the end zone. He almost could have let it go in the end zone, but it's tough to tell when you're back there because you get that panic that if you don't get the ball and it doesn't go in the end zone, then you got problems.
The other thing, the odd shape of the football never gets a clean bounce. Yeah. It's not round like a soccer or basketball.
Yeah, it'll make a right turn on you and end up on the 2-yard line.
Exactly.
Inbounds.
yeah, inbounds are, you know, at worst. Stuck inside the 5. And the pass batted down. It looked like Gabriel Kent got his hand on that one. Rolling out was number 4. Raven Barnes. Again, he's in at QB.
Got that same little boot play, and he had guys open. He just got a hand up. 47 got a hand up.
Yeah, they ran that at the end of their last drive. Ended up with an incompletion at the feet. Two receivers stop at the screen with the tight end. More like an H-back. Breaking on that one looked to be Xavier Gilmore. Breaking up that pass. And, to be honest, Raven Barnes telegraphed that one all the way.
10 for number 11, Devontae Moore.
He was thinking Devontae Moore all the way. Yeah, there's a great heads-up play by Gilmore to break on that pass.
Yeah. Made a real athletic move there. That tight end slipped and actually was open on the other side. Maybe they'll notice that and flip it out to him.
Damos in Bond on the far side of the field for the Eagles. Barnes drops back, now he rolls right. All run from the outside, makes a defender miss, and Gilmore makes the tackle at about the 26-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Eagles.
Great little run right there. Gets to the outside and finds a gap and just gets upfield. Finds the first down marker.
Barnes wasting no time finding that running lane.
26-yard line. After the collision, it's enough for
real question, can the Eagles sustain this drive going forward right now? They've had one strong drive get all the way down to the 2-yard line and stopped by Washougal. H-back on the right side, two receivers, stop of the screen. Barnes again rolling right. Gets it down to the tight end. Still running around. And a 2-yard pickup for number 20, Mateo Verona.
Pass is complete to number 20, Mateo Verona.
Notice a name we haven't called too much of, but got a lot of play last year as a freshman.
Well, it looks like they want to move the pocket with Raven. Even on regular pass plays, they're moving them out of the pocket rather than standing in.
Clock continuing to roll as we creep to about halfway through the third quarter. Panthers faking a blitz. And the ball's on the ground. Hinton falls back on top of it for the Eagles. Actually picks up a couple yards out of it.
Yeah, too bad there. There was a nice little hole for him. And if he could have had the handle on the football, it looked like he might have got a little more than what he got.
He just never had a clean handle of it. You know, Barnes put it in his pocket, just didn't clamp down on it.
Yeah, and it looks like Barnes was reading that end, so looking to see if that end comes down to where he can pull it.
Barnes rolling out to his left. And he's got an opening. Wide open down the sideline. Tries to stay in bounds, and he does. Eventually brought down by number 10, Peter Boylan. Coming up to try to make that tackle as well was Aiden Bonestell.
Yeah, again, Washougal bringing a bunch of pressure 3rd and long. And again, they didn't get him contained. You know, if you're bringing that pressure, you got to keep him contained.
So 1st and 10 now, 39-yard line of Washougal. Again, the referee's going to converge.
Something going on with the clock here.
Talking things over with the head coach for Hudson's Bay. Corey, would you change anything up right now for Hudson's Bay on this drive? They've had a couple of nice plays rolling out the quarterback on for Barnes.
I really like what they're doing with Raven. You know, the one thing that's happened is they're getting themselves in 3rd and long, and Washougal's bringing pressure, and he's just running away from the pressure. But it looks like he's more of a running quarterback, so you're going to want to get outside the pocket, maybe have some crossing routes or some quick outs or some arrows to get the ball in the hands of the receivers, or just tuck it and run.
Pass to the outside and intercepted by the corner on the far side. Couldn't see exactly who made that interception, but a bang play getting there just as the receiver was trying to get that pass, and he stole it right away from him.
Yeah, I think he was trying to throw it to the tight end, and he overthrew the tight end, and the backside corner just jumped in. It was that same little arrow route that the guy's running from out of the backfield, and I think he just overthrew him.
3rd turnover now for the Eagles. First 2 have resulted in points for Washougal. So it'll be quads right. Moulter and Tiaki stacked on the right side. Empty backfield for Farrell. Only 3 coming on the front side. He's got an opening on the left side. He'll take it himself. Makes the first defender miss, breaking a tackle and pushed out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. A first down for the Panthers. Rain starting to fall again here at Kiggins Bowl. Just a real smart play right there by Tristan Farrell. Looking downfield, saw the opening on the left side and realized he could pick up a few yards with his legs. So 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Hand off to Moulter, breaks the initial tackle at the line. A stiff arm, spins out of another tackle. 3 different Eagles are there to try to bring down Moulter.
Boy, a heck of a run. Runs into the back of his own lineman in a D tackle, gets out of it. Second guy he spins out of.
And right now, this rushing attack for the Panthers has been tough to stop for the Eagles up front. I mean, whether it's Boylan or you just had Moulter right there, those legs keep churning. They're not going down easy.
No, they certainly aren't.
Trips right for the Panthers. Moulter still in the backfield with Farrell. It'll be a pass play. Pressure up the middle. Farrell rolling to his right. Makes another defender miss. Now he's going to take it himself and pick up a couple of yards. A fumble out of bounds. It'll stay with Washougal, and it looks like he was pushed out at about the 21-yard line, and a pickup of about 5 yards. So making something out of nothing.
Guy just stepped up in the pocket, looking for receivers, made a guy miss.
The other thing you like to see out of that, he's still keeping his eyes downfield.
Yeah.
It wasn't immediately brought him down and started to look for a running lane. They're still looking for that receiver.
Yeah, I don't know that Farrell really is a running quarterback. I think he's looking to throw the football, and he just took advantage of an opportunity there.
Trips left. Egger on the near side. This ball to the flat and incomplete. Never stood a chance to get to Brig Griffin. So it'll be
pass falls incomplete. It'll be third down.
3rd and 6, it looks like. Correction, 3rd and 7. Just poor timing on that throw. So spread formation again. Moulter on the right side of Farrell. High snap, brought down. Back into the middle of the field. And
wow.
Dipping underneath the defender, running to the outside. A chance to score a touchdown, and he does. Xavier Gilmore. What a play by the receiver right there, snagging it out of the air, dipping below the defender, and finding his way into the end zone.
I'm telling you, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That is a Sports Center top 10. You don't see that too often. He caught the ball. We're going to get the highlight here. Quick little catch and throw. Ducks, whoop.
Quick
there
fire.
he goes.
Yeah, the hitch route, and he got hard to go right by him. Wow, what a play by Gilmore.
Yeah, fun play there. Those seniors will talk about that probably at their 10-year reunion.
So after the touchdown, it's 25-0 in favor of Washougal. Peter Boylan with the kick. A low one at that, but he gets it through the uprights for the extra point, and it's 26-0. The Washougal Panthers lead the Hudson's Bay Eagles.
Eagles 0.
And just an unfortunate series of events for the Eagles. You make a couple of nice plays to get down to the field, or get down the field, excuse me, and then an interception turns into points for Washougal. Scoring update, Union now leading 46-13 with 3:37 left to go in the third quarter as they lead Mountain View.
Union with the big win last week. They beat Camas, who, you know, we're talking about the state champion from the year before against the state champion from last year, and they came out and played a tight game and won that game. And Union's playing a traditionally really tough game against Mountain View. Mountain View always comes out and plays them tough. There's quite a bit of talent at Union High School and a lot of good coaching at both schools, and that's a game that I usually try to, if I wasn't with you, I think I would have probably been over trying to watch that game.
You talk about Camas bringing back a lot of talent from that state title team. In fact, you had Jake Blair coming back. Now, he was injured last year during that state title run, but still able to come back and lead the team right now. He's a commit. He'll be going to Oregon State in the fall. And you talked about a lot of talent here in Southwest Washington. Sneaky good. It'll come right up on you and bite you. It received at about the 30-yard line by number 52, Hayden de Grand Prix. So de Grand Prix getting his name called a lot tonight, making a key defensive stops on that side, and here a decent run back for the linebacker.
I love the way he plays the game. He's always hyped and making big hits and having fun, and that's the one thing I like about it. Both sidelines are still having fun, you know. We always want to win the game, but we also want to enjoy the game. We only get 5 of them, and the kids are still out there having fun, flying around. And like I said earlier, you know, I did an evaluation of the talent, the young talent in Clark County last year, and I was able to find out that Camas and Skyview had the most freshmen and sophomores in their program, and Hudson's Bay was 3rd.
Here's a run up the middle. As we see back out on the field, is Dean Jesus Castillo at the quarterback position, and taking that carry was Raven Barnes.
And numbers aren't everything, but when you have a lot of people playing football, there's a lot of competition in practice and a lot of guys to choose from and better practices. And I mean, I feel that Hudson's Bay has got a chance to be pretty good as the future goes on.
Two receivers top of the screen, H back to the right. Hinton now set up on the right side of Jesus Castillo. rush up the middle by Hinton. And he's met by Mansfield at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a gain of about 2 yards. Stopped at the 49, 50-yard line.
Now playing quarterback for Hudson's Bay is a young man named Michael Stump, number 19. Before the game, I went down on the sidelines and talked to Peavy, who's a big-time baseball player and now is a baseball coach at Hudson's Bay, and he told me that this kid has one of the biggest arms he's ever seen out of a freshman, and he doesn't play baseball, and that was the disappointing conversation that we had about it, is that he's not a baseball player. So hopefully we'll get to see him sling it down the field here once or twice.
Trips right for the Eagles. And caught over the middle by number 17, Dylan Damos.
There you go, a nice pass fired.
On 3rd and 4, converting for the first down for the Eagles. They moved those chains, 2:21 left in the 3rd quarter. Reynolds there on the tackle for Washougal. So 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line.
So Coach Greg Peavy, he didn't lie, did he?
Good arm on the quarterback. Here's another throw, again over the middle, and trying to hit Ryder Bond. And a flag thrown on a hit on a defenseless receiver, it looked like. Ryder Bond trying to go up for that pass, took a hit on the way down.
There is a flag on the play.
Bond a bit slow. Boylan seems to be the one who got flagged on that one. It didn't seem as malicious in that replay as it did live. Didn't make the contact helmet to helmet as it looked like from our point of view.
I'm not sure if they're even going to penalize. They're talking about it. Yeah, going back to Greg Peavy, you know, interesting story. The head Woodland coach used to be the head Hudson's Bay coach, and when Greg Peavy came through, and he was a big-time baseball star, played at Oregon State, and he also was a heck of a basketball player. And the Woodland football coach Woody, he couldn't get Peavy to come out to play quarterback. He tried.
So penalty on Washougal. I gotta say, this 3rd quarter is taking longer than it did in the first half with the referees meeting up and the amount of flags that have been thrown.
The way it's going, we might just need a sleeping bag. We'll be back here tomorrow for the Columbia River Hawkinson game.
River 2-0. Good matchup going on tomorrow. And 1 p.m. here at Kiggins Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, Hawkinson, what I read in the newspaper, they've won 38 of their last 40. So it's it's quite a task to beat those guys. But I will say I think the Chieftains are up for the task. We'll see what happens type deal. So
I've been meaning to ask you, we were talking on the broadcast for Columbia River last Friday about the new mascot of Columbia River. The Rapids, you had Sasquatch, you just had River, and I believe there was one more. Royals. Is there one that you're leaning towards there, Corey?
I personally am not leaning towards any of them because I get no say, but I heard that they're scrapping Royals and Sasquatch, and it's going to end up maybe being River or Rapids. But again, I don't vote for it. I think the kids get the final vote, and then the board does, and they're going to have a new school name. So it doesn't matter what the name is. There's a lot of pride up there. Just like here at Hudson's Bay, there's a ton of pride, and people that go to those schools, they'll always love Columbia River High School.
Trips right. Hinton now on the right side of the quarterback. Moore on the near side. Here's a run up the middle by Hinton on the draw. And it looks to be a pickup of 6 yards. It'll be 2nd and 4 now for the Eagles. And it looks to be at about the 17-yard line.
Freshman quarterback Michael Stump doing a great job running the offense.
We have an official's timeout.
The officials called the timeout.
It's a sideline warning on Washougal.
And a sideline warning on Washougal. So both teams with a sideline warning. Ryder Bond coming back out onto the field for the Eagles. Eagles setting up, trips left. Here's a pass over the middle behind his receiver, and was that intercepted? It was by Gilmore. First making the touchdown grab on the other side. Now he gets the interception near the goal line against the Eagles. A high pass from the quarterback of Hudson's Bay. And it looked like it was intended for Ryder Bond. But again, a high throw leading to an interception, and that's just the story for the Eagles tonight. And it's been turnover after turnover.
Yeah, they're trying to make something happen. I mean, the scoreboard says you got to try to make something happen, and they brought in the young gun with a big arm, and he's throwing it around and just overthrew it.
Yeah, he had the pump fake to the outside, and again, high. Correction, it was over Damos, intended for Ryder Bond. So 4 receivers now on the right side. Here's a rush to the right side. Moulter again has an opening, stays in bounds, beats another defender, and he's taken down at the 24-yard line. Pickup of 22 on that run.
Yeah, like late Moulter there. You know, Moulter got kind of pushed out of bounds at the 16, and he says, nope, I'm going to go ahead and try to get a few more yards after that. And
yeah, great balance and awareness to stay in bounds right there.
There's times to do that and times not to do it, and he put his foot in the ground and got 3 or 4 extra.
Trips left for the Panthers. Screen pass to the left, out in the flat, and this one caught by Gilmore. Can't stretch this one into a touchdown. In fact, he loses a couple of yards on it. It'll be 2nd and 12.
I feel like was that a backwards one again? I feel like
it was, yeah. We've seen that a couple of times.
Yeah. Quarterback kind of catches it and steps up, and it looks like it's backwards. Let's see, he's standing 1 yard over, and he caught it. It might have been a little forward, actually.
I think it was for just the way that Gilmore went back for the ball and made it look like it was backwards. Trips right for the Panthers. Here's a handoff to Moulter up the middle, sheds a couple of defenders, still on his feet, fighting hard, and he's brought down. Forward progress gets him to the 30-yard line. And he was brought down by Dylan Damos, and that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. It was 13-0 at halftime. It's now 26-0 in favor of Washougal. Let's take a moment to recognize the students working on tonight's broadcast. Most of them are students in the district's video production programs who are learning about careers in television. In addition to students on cameras tonight, we have more back in the control room directing, running replays, graphics, and audio. We couldn't do it without them. And over the course of the year, students from at least 8 middle and high schools will participate in this program. So thank you to all these students for giving their time to bring local sports to our community. Of course, we couldn't do it without them. Of course, they're also stepping up in a big way this year, broadcasting 11 games to their normal 5. So again, hands together, a big thank you to the students helping out with the broadcast this season.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say for all the parents out there that don't get to come to the ball games, we really appreciate, I'll speak for the parents, we really appreciate VPS Game Time for having these broadcasts. And also there's some permanent memories we're going to get from it. You know, some of these games you just come watch and they might be on Huddle, they might be on a scratchy old film. These are some that are on YouTube and you can just go right back and watch it the rest of your life. So thank you from all the parents for VPS Game Time for doing these.
Well, we're about to start the 4th quarter here, 26-0 in favor of Washougal, and you're expecting probably more of the same. Ground and pound attack from the Panthers keeps this clock moving.
It seems to be that they're giving it to the senior backs. You know, you got Moulter and Boyland, and they're 2 seniors, and they're good backs, and they're trying to ground and pound and run that clock out.
Well, this one through the air, and Gabriel Kent dropping to his knees, able to make that catch, but it goes for a 1st down after a gain of 6 yards.
For a gain of 6 on the play.
So the Panthers taking a chance stopping the clock on that pass play, but the completion keeps it going.
Yeah, I did my research, and they have 19 seniors, and so they're probably trying to spread the ball out in a 26-0 game, try to get the ball into the hands of a couple different people. You know, they started early with Boylan, and then it's Moulter, and now it looks like maybe they're going to swing it out to some other guys.
Trips right for the Panthers. Moulter now stepping up to the left side of Tristan Farrell. Possible blitz by the Eagles. They only bring 4. Farrell sacked from behind. The ball came loose, and it looked like one of the Panther offensive linemen was able to jump on top of it. Farrell unaware of the defender standing right behind him as he was trying to deliver that pass. You probably would have liked to see him either step up or move more to his right.
Yeah, Eggers did a stop and go at the top of the screen and was wide open and on the pump fake. So if he would have got that ball off, there would have been another touchdown if it was a caught.
So back-to-back pass plays by the Panthers. And the fumble will bring up 2nd and 15. 3 receivers, top of the screen. A run on the outside to Moulter. He's got an opening. Good blocks out front by his receivers. He's at the 50-yard line, still on his feet, and pushed out of bounds at about the 47-yard line to the Hudson's Bay Eagles side of the field. Wow, we were talking about Boylan so much in the first half, but Gavin Moulter really putting on a show here late in the 3rd quarter and here into the 4th.
Yeah, the line's giving him lots of space, and the receivers are doing a really good job blocking for him outside the box.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 47-yard line.
Trips left. And here's another screen pass coming back to the ball. Is number 17, Brick Griffin, and to the outside and taken down at the 44-yard line. Pickup of 3 yards on that play.
Great name, Brig Griffin. That's a great football name. He's one of those receivers that I've been watching that's been doing a good job blocking on the edges.
Of course, and give a shout out to this offensive line again. Sean Harris, Colin Massey, Jose Alvarez Cruz, and William Rathbone with Gunnar Bjorklund. And they've done a great job up front for this Panthers squad. We don't have the stats next to us, but no doubt over 150 yards on the ground as Moulter, a hard carry, gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 7. That was a tough run. Looked like he was going to lose a couple yards in the backfield, able to get back to the line of scrimmage to prevent a negative play. Hart checking in for the Eagles. He's now back in the secondary.
Yeah, D Grand Prix on him early. He stiff-armed him, but he stayed with him.
Trips left. Another pass play. This one to Gilmore. Steps in between a couple of defenders, stretching out the ball, but minimal gain, maybe a yard. And that'll bring up 4th down now for Washougal. And Corey, you thinking they're going for it? Possibly punt here with where they are on the field? Or what do you think?
I mean, in my opinion, I'd probably punt here. It's 26-0. Just bury him down there and put the defense on the field and play the last 8 minutes of the game. But, you know, everybody has their own thing. Maybe they want to run a special play here or something that they're working on. Again, when they cross the 50 in high school football, it turns into 2-down territory a lot.
Farrell out to his right, a high pass and just out of the reach of Xavier Gilmore. And that will stop the clock, and it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Hudson's Bay Eagles. What do you think the thought process was there on that one, Corey?
They just slipped Gilmore out, and he's wide open. He just got overthrown.
And it looks like they've got Dean Jesus Castillo back in at quarterback, 18 for this Eagles squad. Hinton also back in the backfield.
Actually, it looks like it might be the freshman back in. I'll look at the number.
Run caught up in the backfield. No gain on the play.
Oh, it is 18. Number 18. You look like number 19 from up here.
Well, these jerseys are tricky, man. It's hard to tell what the number is all the way up here in the booth with the light number up top and the darker part of the number at the bottom.
My eyes lied.
Well, normally your eyes don't lie, Corey.
That's right. Oh, that's funny that you say that.
8 minutes left in the game. 26-0. Washougal leads. Jesus Castillo's fought hard in this game. A couple of passes did not go his way. There, a shoestring catch, still on his feet, trying to push for that first down, and he's about a yard short, a pickup of 9 through the air to Mateo Verona.
It's a great catch. Ball was down. He caught it off his shoestrings, got hit by 2 or 3 guys, and actually I think he might have stretched out for that first down. There's 1 guy on him, 2 guys on him, 3 guys, and it looks like he might get a spot. Just barely short.
Yeah, they're going to mark him about a yard short. Got Barnes and Bond on the near side. Trips right on 3rd and 1 for the Eagles. 2 down territory, trying to get onto the board. Hinton looks like he has enough for the first down. Got to the 45-yard line, and that'll move the chains.
Hinton on the carry.
Yeah, he's really good at finding a little crease, you know. Get him the ball, and he finds a little crease and gets the yards you need to move the chains.
Forward progress, and that'll be enough for another big first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Panthers.
They just trying to get on the scoreboard right now. Shut out the last time these two teams played. They've been close a couple of times, unable to put it in. And Verona tackled high near the head, and he was brought down by number 32, Garrett Mansfield.
Now you got me thinking if the whole last drive I was saying the freshman was out there with me. Sorry out there, Bay parents, if I did that. I thought it was number 19.
Again, tricky numbers. The visual on these jerseys for Hudson's Bay, difficult to see up here in the press box. Get a clean number.
They are good looking though. I do like their uniforms.
Kind of got the hint of the Oregon Ducks situation. Here's a pass to the outside. Caught by Moore, breaks 1 tackle, and he's tackled at about the 28-yard line by Mansfield and Carson Morris.
Little Purdue Boilermaker colors.
Oh yeah, some black and gold action.
Threw that out there because I know your family's a big Purdue Boilermaker fan.
Oh yeah, 3 generations of the family are Boilermakers. I just wish they could bring that football back to what it was in the early 2000s.
Well, I circled them on my football stuff and back then.
Of course, you had Drew Brees leading those Purdue squads. Here's a pass down the field and incomplete, in and out of the hands of Dylan Damos. He thought he had that one, upset with himself as he hit the turf. It bounced out of his grip, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Thinking back to that, those Purdue squad, that what they used to call basketball on grass, the air raid attack from Joe Tiller.
It's fun to watch.
It really is, you know, high scoring affair, lots of action through the air, flag thrown.
I think it's fun football. I think the kids, you know, a lot of high school programs run air raid. I mean, over at Columbia River, we're running air raid, and we're running air raid with our freshmen. I don't know if it's so much air raid as it's run raid because we can't throw it that well, but we're trying. I think it attracts a lot of athletes that maybe aren't football players that are in the school to come out and play an outside receiver because you know you're going to get it thrown up to you. So
yeah, if you have the speed, you almost have a spot on the roster at that point.
And it's fun for the crowd too. I mean, you know, old school people like that grinder, you know, 6-0 game, and a lot of people like to see points.
Trips right for the Eagles. Jesus Castillo gets sacked, ball up in the air, caught by one of the offensive linemen. And back loose on the ground. They're going to say that the lineman was tackled and down on the ground after making that catch. And that looked to be number 92.
But the Eagles will maintain possession.
Is that I think the center.
Zephanius Tuyana.
Yeah, offensive lineman's dream. Living
the dream.
I ran the football till I was a junior, and then my senior year I played line, and you'd lay in bed and go, maybe you'll get a tip pass, and I'll go to the house on it. But they don't even let you do it. I think the rules say you can't run forward.
It's a dead ball after
Come
you
on,
catch it.
let the big boys rumble.
Trips left for the Eagles. 4:20 left in the game. And coming up, making the open field tackle for Washougal is Liam Atkin.
You know, it's like pitchers in BP and linemen and running back drills. They're kind of the same. They all want to do it. They all want the ball in their hand at least one time, coach.
We'll bring up 4th and 15 for the Eagles after the completion, as we are now under 4 minutes left in the game. Trips right. Eagles have to make up a lot of ground. Jesus Castillo throws a dart to Verona, breaking one tackle, getting away from a man, and hopped over Theodosi Berry. Got all the way to the 18-yard line. That's close to a first down. See where they mark that ball.
Good little catch, and then kind of just slipped between two defenders.
And it looks like they should stay as a first down. But you can't really make a heads or tails of that one. It was 4th down, so it's first down for which way? And then now it's a first down for Hudson's Bay. They'll move the chains. So Verona making a nice move here late in the 4th quarter. Getting a first down, the Eagles creeping closer again down to the goal line. They had an opportunity to tie this game up early on. They were down 7-0, got stopped at the goal line by the Panthers at the 2-yard line, actually at this end of the field.
The second
into 3 minutes.
Yeah, in the second half, I mean, really Washougal did what we talked about at halftime, which is they just really grounded and pounded, controlled the clock, and scored a couple times and kind of ran away with the game.
Castillo doing a great job keeping the play alive, rolling the outside. Dylan Damos with the reception, keeping his feet in bounds. Looked to be a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 13-yard line.
Offensive coordinator here is trying to score right now, and every defensive coordinator in the county is trying to keep it at 0.
Mm-hmm.
So
we should throw a pizza party for the defenders if they pitched a shutout.
Yeah, they're getting a shutout's big for those DCs.
Hinton gets the handoff, bringing it up the middle. A couple of Panthers grabbing his jersey, pulling him back, but he's got enough for a first down. He's at the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Eagles.
Looks like he has enough for an Eagles first down, and he does. It'll be 1st and goal Eagles.
Well, Corey, do you think the Panthers have what it takes to keep this Eagles squad out of the end zone? Last time they were down here, they saw a bit of a wildcat action. They brought in Raven Barnes at quarterback instead of keeping Castillo out there. They ran a couple of run plays up the middle that ended with no touchdown. Hinton gets the carry, broke one tackle, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. And if you're the Eagles, you're just happy to get into the end zone. This is some momentum you can carry forward into the next week. So one more look at it.
Kind of just squeaked his way through. It's what he's good at.
Is that a trap? Did I see that correctly?
I didn't see it.
Either way, getting into the end zone. Big news for the Eagles here with just over 2 minutes left to go in the game. They trail 26-6.
Yeah, and I think that Hudson's Bay's schedule's been adjusted. I think Hudson's Bay, I don't remember if Hudson's Bay was supposed to play Hawkinson or R.A. Long, but apparently Hawkinson and Richfield, they were either supposed to play Richfield or Hawkinson, and And RA Long was supposed to be Richfield or Hawkinson, and they kind of got together and they said, well, we're going to have Hawkinson and Richfield play, and I think Hudson's Bay plays RA Long next week.
And that'll be a good matchup for that team.
It's good. Two young teams, and you know, we played RA Long, and the RA Long coach, they got a new coach. He's doing a really good job. I feel like the kids were all where they were supposed to be, and they were super young. Like, I looked out there, and there wasn't a bunch of grizzled faces. And then I took the JV team up there, and the JV team was really tough for RA Long. And again, it could be a really nice matchup next week for Hudson's Bay. Two up-and-coming, hard-working programs.
William Sandilands is the kicker out there for the extra point. And it's a fake. Raven Barnes running to the outside, and the pass into the end zone incomplete on the 2-point conversion. The pass intended for Chase Hart in the end zone, high and behind the receiver. So the 2-point conversion, no good. And it's a 20-point lead for Washougal with 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes left in the game.
The Panthers 26, the Eagles 6.
Yeah, Corey, are you expecting an onside kick here from Hudson's Bay, keeping things going, or is it something where you're play with more class and just kick it down to the end of the field and get things going?
I don't think it's classless for Hudson's Bay to try an onside kick here. I mean, you play to win the game, right?
Absolutely.
But in the special team coordinator wants probably to work on it, so there probably will be some sort of pooch kick or onside kick here, and you know, quite frankly, probably both clubs, it's good for them to work on it. So who knows, Mike? And they'll probably just kick it deep now after I said that. So we'll see.
There's a look at the cheer squad here at Kiggins Bowl.
Again, we appreciate your work down there.
Absolutely. Team effort all the way around. Of course, that's Hudson's Bay cheer squad, and then about 35, 40 yards to their left, you've got a small Washougal cheer squad.
Socially distant, about 40 yards.
Yep. It looks to be a normal kickoff. Reynolds and Molzer back to receive it. And there's a pooch kick into the corner. It'll go out of bounds, and that will be a flag. And you like the idea. Maybe you haven't necessarily run an onside kick, you're not comfortable doing it, but you get that short pooch kick. And sometimes that works in your favor. You'd like to see a little bit more air on it, get your guys a chance to get down the field. But you like the play from Hudson's Bay, the aggressiveness, at least try to get the ball back.
Yeah, you're hoping to get a high hop or get a little panic out of a guy and get a guy down there and maybe get the ball. It's definitely a low-risk play to kick it out of bounds. 35-yard line guaranteed. Very few coaches are going to decline that.
What they are acknowledging out on the field?
Oh, excuse me, the 40. They had it on the 35 for a second.
I think that's where it's originally supposed to go, and I think it went out at the 40.
Oh, gotcha, because it has to go by the 35 or something. There's all kinds of rules. I need to read the rule book a little better. My rules tonight have not been very good.
Here's a run up the gut, and Molzer fighting hard. The decent gain brought down by number 75.
Got Molzer on the carry.
Wafilitunga Tamaua.
Oh, my goodness.
I
that is
apologize off the bat if I butchered that name.
Sounded great. I would have said that kid.
75.
That's just way too hard for me.
You know, I've called enough games, you get somewhat of an idea of how the names are supposed to be said. Well, that one was a mouthful. Pass caught on the outside. Raven Barnes comes up with the tackle along with number 82, Duke Beamer. Catch made by Justin Nichols.
I like the kids. The Bay kids are still playing hard all the way to the very end, and that's a good thing.
Third down and 5. Just under a minute remaining in this one.
La Filatonga Tamaua.
It's good.
That's my best attempt at it. So again, my apologies. No pronunciation guide up here in the booth. Another rush up the middle. This one goes for a first down. I didn't see if it was Moulter in the backfield this time. And it is Moulter with a 7-yard pickup and a first down, keeping that clock moving with 30.4 seconds left to go. It'll start running again once the sticks are set.
Very well could be another run or a victory formation. At this point, I don't think the Hudson's Bay, if they had a timeout, would take it.
(26-6), final seconds ticking off the clock, 15 remaining.
Well, I had fun, Brian. My first football broadcast. Thank you for walking me through it.
Yeah, of course.
It's a little different than baseball for sure.
Just a couple guys watching a football game, talking about what was happening on the field, and that's the final buzzer. 26-6, Washougal is victorious over the Hudson's Bay Eagles. And Corey, let's talk about what happened here in the second half. It was 13-0 at halftime, and turnovers ended up being the huge difference for the Eagles. They had 4 of them in this game, and I believe it turned into 20 points for Washougal, and that's not a winning recipe.
No, yeah, turnovers. I mean, you always want to win the turnover battle, and obviously Washougal won that tonight. And then Washougal in the second half kind of did what we talked about at half, which is the run is working. Let's hand it to our seniors. And you know, number 5, Gavin Moulter, had a great second half. You know, I don't know how many yards he got, but my guess is plus 75. Actually, the Colombian guy next to me saying 104 yards, which I think is the best running performance in Clark County so far this season. And I don't want to overshadow what their other running back, Peter Boylan, did in the first half as well, which I imagine he probably had 70 yards as well. Actually, it looks like
is it 48?
58. So we, you know, 160 yards
on the ground.
On the ground, and that's the recipe for winning the football game. And
not only that, it was that front line, whether it was offensively or defensively for Washougal. They got that push and they dictated the tempo of this game.
Yeah, and Hudson's Bay fought hard, man. There's a lot of hard tackles. Their linebacker core played hard. They did everything they can to stay in the football game, and again, they're young on the roster, and they're going to be bright in the future.
Yeah, here's that run by Moulter after the turnover by Hudson's Bay. And again, they dealt with a couple of injuries. Their starting running back went out and then came back in later in the game. Here you see Raven Barnes with a nice run, but he came in relief for Dean Hayes Castillo at the quarterback position, who got his ankle rolled up, it looked like. And then he had a fantastic catch and run right here by Xavier Gilmore. Catch and ducking underneath the defender and getting the outside for the touchdown. And overall, a well-played game for Washougal. For Hudson's Bay, a young squad, still need to clean some things up. Had penalties and the turnovers that ended up killing.
Yeah, like we said, and the same halftime is here. So that little play by Gilmore, man, they need to roll that over to Sports Center. That was pretty cool.
Nice move by him. And don't forget, you just heard him up here, but he's on the sideline tomorrow coaching with Columbia Rivers. They take on Hawkinson. That game will be at 1 p.m. on this channel as well. Ryan Slyke, thank you again to the students and the production for putting things together here at Dickinson for our broadcast. Hudson's Bay and Washougal. It's 26-6. The Panthers are victorious over Hudson's Bay, and here's the upcoming schedule. Tomorrow, 1 p.m., Hawkinson.